Good morning, happy Sunday morning. It's Christine Crutcher from Create with Christine, and I am here with another Tea and Techniques episode. So this morning I am kind of going in the Wayback Machine, and we are going to go over 3-step stamping. So I'm going to use a stamp set from the annual catalog, To a Wild Rose, and then this stamp set has a coordinating set of dies. So here is the card we are going to make today. Just a sweet and simple little thank you card. It says grateful on it. And I am just going to bring you to the catalog. It's on page 15 of the annual catalog. So here's the stamp set. And then, like I said, there's a whole bunch of matching dies. So all the pieces on my card, upside down, all the pieces on my card are from the set of dies that coordinate with this stamp set. So I am just going to wait a minute and see if I have one person so far. I'm just going to wait a minute and say, how was your week? It's daylight savings time, so I'm not sure if I'm going to have that many people this morning because we obviously sprung ahead, so it's a little early. And that's why I wanted to just do a simple project today. And I'm going to dive into some more complicated techniques over the next couple weeks. So I guess I will go ahead and point the camera down at my station and we'll get started. It'll probably be a pretty short video today. And I'll do my classes at the end, just show you my class. Over my head is my card class for this month. And then I have a home decor class too. So I'm going to point my camera down at my station, find myself in my feed, and it's actually March 14th, so it's Pie Day. So while I'm moving my camera and getting myself situated, what is your favorite pie? Okay, so I'm going to find myself in my feed. It always takes a minute to find myself, so here we go. Okay, so again, I'm using To a Wild Rose today, and here is my card. So we'll talk about the colors here as I get started. So it's 3-step stamping. So I picked this stamp set To a Wild Rose since it's got the 3 roses. And this is a technique that's, I think, been around with Stampin' Up for a very long time. And I have my tea this morning too, so I'm just going to take a sip while we start. Of course, coffee drinkers welcome too. We all need a little bit of coffee on a day like this when it's daylight savings time. So let's talk about the colors. I wanted to have my rose be pink. And good morning, Janine. Thanks for tuning in this morning. So I picked 2 pink colors. So I've got Blushing Bride for the lighter color and then Melon Mambo for the darker color. And then I pretty much used Melon Mambo as my accent. So my cardstock, my greeting, kind of pull out the Melon Mambo kind of as my kind of primary color. So I'm going to do all the stamping first, and I actually jumped ahead and cut out the flower after I stamped it, so I just did an extra one to save time on the video. So I have a 3x3 piece of basic white cardstock, and this is what I'm going to do for my stamping on my rose. So what I want to do is start with my lightest color, Blushing Bride, and I'm going to bring over a post-it note too because I'm going to stamp off. So I'm using the Stampin' Pierce mat because this is a photopolymer stamp set, so I want to make sure that I get a nice impression. So I want to start with my first stamp, which is kind of like the background image, I'm going to kind of call it, and I'm going to stamp off in Blushing Bride, my lightest color. So onto the post-it note, And then I'm gonna go onto my 3x3 white. Okay, so that looks great. This stamp kind of has like a little V at the top. Well, this is what I'm calling the top, and this is kind of where I'm trying to line up my stamps. So if you might want to put like a little piece of washi tape or something here so you know this is where you want to line up. I'm lining up near the V in the stamp. Okay, so the next stamp is a little bit more detail, and I'm still going to go Blushing Bride. This is my top, and I want to go right over the top. And this is going to add some more detail. And then I'm going to close up my Blushing Bride, and then I'm going to go to Melon Mambo. So the third is the more detail image, and this one I'm going to go with my darker color. So Melon Mambo. And then again, I'm going to go right over the top. And that makes the beautiful rose with the 3-step stamp. Oh, and while I have my Melon Mambo, I'm just going to do the greeting really quick. So I'm just going to put this aside. What I did is I just cut this out with the die. So just to save time, I cut one out with my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And let's come do the greeting. Now, this greeting comes from the same stamp set, and it says, "And Grateful." So let me show you what I did for that. I just stamped the "And Grateful," Melon Mambo. Get all the stamps out of the way. Okay. Get the Pierce mat out of the way. So with my "And Grateful," I'm going to punch it out with my classic label punch. What's your favorite tea, Janine? I am going to kind of go over to the side. Okay, there's my "And Grateful," but I don't want the "and" in there. So what I'm going to do is take my paper snips, and I'm just going to chop off the "and." And then I cut a little kind of banner in the Grateful, so I just went up from the side to make a little banner, kind of like so. And I'm sorry, I've got inky fingers this morning because I was stamping earlier this morning. Okay, so there's my Grateful. I've got my cut out rose. So now I can start putting all my pieces together. And like I said, this is a super simple card. So I have a basic white thick card base. So this is just a 4 1/4 by 11. I scored it in half at 5 1/2. Then I have a Melon Mambo piece that's 4 by 5 1/4. And I ran it through the subtle embossing folder with my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So this card just makes me happy. It's bright, it's springy. We actually had 70 degrees 2 days. Well, maybe the second day it was maybe 65, but one day it was 70 Thursday, and Friday it was like 65 here. And now I think tomorrow we have a high of maybe, I think it's in the 20s. So trying to channel spring in my projects this month. My card class and my home decor are butterflies with the new butterfly suite. So now let me tell you about the other pieces here. If you were smart and did not make this card after daylight savings time at 8 o'clock in the morning, you would have thought to put the dies, this die and this die especially, onto the adhesive sheets before you ran it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. But like I said, I did this morning, so we're just going to put some glue. I'm using the liquid glue, just like a little tiny bit. A little bit goes a long way. And if you use too much, you'll have it everywhere. Good morning, Sandy. Thanks for tuning in this morning. I know that daylight savings time has us all a little bit off kilter. I'm always off kilter for about a week, but I'm still working at home, so no complaints right now. I have a 1-minute commute downstairs, so. Okay, so this little kind of like lattice die, I'm just gonna put it towards the left side. So this comes from the Wild Rose dies. And again, they coordinate with the Wild Rose, to a Wild Rose stamp set. Okay, so now I'm gonna layer up the little label. The label also comes from this same set. I'm just gonna use a little bit of seal for this. I like seal for my white. And what I'm gonna do is I want 3 flowers showing at the top and about 4 at the bottom. And I kind of want to be straight here. So this is a great thank you card. I think I'm going to send this one to my husband's aunt. She's been helping us so much lately. We had to say goodbye to one lovely member of our family, which was one of our beloved cars. So she's been helping us fix all of our insurance. So one thing about this flower is if you're not sure which way it goes, I actually consult back to the catalog and look at how it's stamped here in the catalog to try to figure out. It looks like it's kind of like this is the top here. So I kind of want to put it on like this, and I want my leaves to be there too, and I want my grateful kind of over here. So you can kind of sort of play around with it. I'm going to put my grateful on a little bit of liquid glue. So we've been on the phone about the car like constantly. So this card's gonna go in the mail to her tomorrow. She works for our insurance, for our house and car insurance. So we've become a 1-car family, at least for a little bit. Since I'm still working at home, we're gonna buy a new car in a few months. So the greenery, you can kind of decide. Maybe you want to actually put it on to the leaf. I think I'm going to do it this way. Just put a little bit of adhesive and kind of get it on there like so. And then I'm ready to seal this on top. Okay, this way. Just like so. And then just to finish this card off, I've got 3 opals that I just sprinkled on with my Take Your Pick tool. So the opal rounds, I am addicted to these little guys. I'm going to show you my home decor in a minute, and I used 20 on the home decor. So I had a little fun. So I'm just going to pick them up, maybe like 1 up here near the greenery and then 2 down by the grateful. So just like so. So here are my cards. They look almost identical. And before we leave, I want to show you my classes so you know what's going on this month and how you can RSVP and how you can order from my store if you are looking to place an order. I'm just going to grab my cards. Okay, so I'm doing a card class with the Butterfly Bijou Designer Series paper. So it's 4 cards, and here's a quick peek at the 4 different cards. You need to register by this Wednesday, March 17th at noon Eastern. And if you place a order in my online store, and I'll put the link below, with host code, my March host code, which is ZNFQTMWZ, and I'll put the host code below. So if you place that order, you'll get this card class for free if you place an order over $27. And again, it's just all the pieces cut out, the die cuts, the designer series paper. You'll have to provide your own stamps and ink to finish the cards. But I used the You Are Amazing stamp set from the mini catalog for my cards. And for my home decor class, I'm not sure if we'll be able to get a great shot of this because it's behind the glass, but it's a butterfly home decor class for March. And so this is a 12 by 12. And you can get all the details on my blog at christinestamps.blogspot.com. Just link over to the classes and tutorials page. But I'm doing RSVP by Wednesday, March 24th at noon. And this class, it includes 1/8 of a pack of the Butterfly Bijou Designer Series paper. It includes the Natural Touch specialty paper, a 1/4 pack. It includes a full pack of the opal rounds, and like I said, there's 20 of them, so hopefully you can kind of see. I put them all on the middle of the butterflies. And then you're going to get a full roll of the Whisper White crinkled ribbon, and I'm going to tie your bow. And then you get all the pieces cut out. So just to talk about long distance customers, I'm just going to put this down for a second. If you're a long distance customer, you'll have to supply a 12 by 12 white and an 8.5 by 8.5 Bermuda Bay to finish the project. But I'm going to give you all the pieces cut out, the butterflies and the squares. So that's what's going on this month. You can kind of see my reflection in the frame, which is kind of cute. So that's what's going on this month. I hope you have a great week. I'm going to bring the camera back up at my face. Happy St. Patrick's Day this week. And happy spring. I think spring starts actually technically on Saturday. So when I come back next Sunday with another technique, we'll officially be in spring. So those of you watching down south, like Sharon in North Carolina, send that warmer air up here, please. So have a great week, everybody.